This is the Platinum Podcast.
Well, welcome to the Platinum Podcast, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the Platinum Podcast. It sounds really like exclusive. Huh? It's platinum. Yeah, beautiful.
It is. You're now officially part of a very exclusive club, my friend. It's a very special day, even if I do say so myself.
I'm honored.
We're honored to have you here, man. So James has thrown us into this conversation in classic James style. And I'm really looking forward to this one because just from what you're doing, it inspires me. It really does. I'm single. I'm not single. My girlfriend's going to kill me on that. I don't have any kids. That came out wrong. I don't have children. I'm really clear on that one. And the day that does happen, I would love to have the level of freedom and the courage to kind of just pick up and go anywhere and just have myself to rely on. That's a real big thing that I aspire to have in my life. And obviously you've been traveling with your family for quite some time now. Can you tell me a little bit about how that started for you guys?
It all started like 5 years ago. The story is a very long story. It started when I was 24 years old. My mother died when she was 48. I was 24. At that point, I couldn't cope with the feelings, so I became a workaholic. I started to build up my first company in Holland, then a second company in Malta, an online casino. And then, when you keep working and you can running the hamster wheel, and then I did that for 12 to 15 years, and my companies were big. I had a lot of employees, didn't spend enough time with my family. And then in 2015, in the end, no, I lied, 2014 in the end, my father calls me that he's diagnosed with cancer. He has one more year to live. So I hired some managers to run all my companies. 2015, I spent my last year with my father. I even go living home again with my father. And then 2016, January, he dies. And then, I did a funeral and all the inheritance. And my father was a professional football player. So he had a funeral in a football stadium and all that stuff. And then I get a burnout. And then that's your wake-up call. And then I realized I need to change life. So I told my family, let's go on a trip for 3 months to Thailand and just chill and get some rest in my head again. And during those 3 months, my friends started to call me again. Didi, do you still own your Bitcoins that you mined? Because I started mining Bitcoins in 2013 and Dogecoin in 2013. And then they started to call me, do you still have them? They are going up, the community is growing. And I was like, man, I'm in Bali, I'm enjoying my life. I'm not going to look at the charts. It's like, I was in Kuta, man, the sunset is beautiful. I had my Bacardi Coke and I was happy. But at the evening I checked them. And then, I saw the community growing. I saw the forums. I saw everybody talking about it again. I saw the price increasing. And that's the moment I told my wife in the evening, what do you think if we just keep living like this? Let's continue this life, travel the world as a family, don't own the luxury stuff, and just lead by example for our kids. Let's teach our kids to enjoy life and to accumulate happiness instead of accumulating wealth. And that was like a discussion, of course, a few Mai Tais, a few Bacardi Cokes with the wife. And then at the end, we agreed. So we flew home, we sold our house, our companies, everything. We went all into Bitcoin. We started to travel the world, but then we were bombed to the Bitcoin family because it came into the media, documentaries were made about us. And that is where we, when it's all started, this whole new Bitcoin adventure started out of nothing. We didn't even plan it. And then now the last 4 years, we've been living a Bitcoin adventure, visiting 42 countries with our family, $3 and a wife, enjoying it to the fullest. And I think it's a roller coaster ride that still needs to give us a few loopings ahead. So I'm prepared for everything now.
I bet traveling full time with your whole family gets you prepared for pretty much anything. There's got to be some obstacles coming along with that.
Of course, because, the kids grow up. Yeah, we started when the oldest one, we started when she was 10. She's now 15. That's a huge difference between a 10-year-old kid or a puber of 15 years old. It gets quite interesting to travel around with $3 and a wife.
I'm sure it does. You're heavily outnumbered there by the sound of it, man.
Yeah, heavily.
Fair play to you, man, for pulling that one off. We've actually
Yeah.
got some members of our community, part of Platinum, that either are aspiring to travel with their families or are already doing it. What would you say is like some advice you give to people in that position?
That if they want to start to travel,
So we've got people that already are, that are
yeah,
already making it happen. And then we've got some people that are some families that are really aspiring to just pick up and leave as well.
it's easy. Just do it. It's like you're saving costs. It's cheaper than the normal life, a house and all that stuff, and the mortgage and the insurances. Traveling life for us is cheaper than we ever had. You know, the monthly cost we had in the Netherlands of living, we decreased that. You know, it's like traveling is cheaper, and it's kind of scary. You know, everything new is scary in life, you know, but when you learn to you abandon fear and just go for your passions, then you lose the fear. I always compare it with bungee jump, you know. Tomorrow you need to bungee jump, you know. Today you shit your pants already twice, and then tomorrow you need to climb the ladder, you shit your pants the third time, then you're on that huge platform where you need to jump and you shit your pants again, and then you jump and you enjoy it to the fullest, and then you have like, no, another time, another time, another time. That's how it is with changing life. It's scary at first, then you do it, you will never go back. You will keep living life like that, because it's just stupid to be paying a mortgage. Like, I just tell people now because of the lockdown, you know, I tell them, because you have a mortgage, you're financing your own jail, nothing else. You loaned money from the bank to finance your own jail. That's stupid. People should realize this. Why? You know, and then you
Yeah,
get to the
I fell for that.
you get to the mindset part. Then you get to the part where people are even loaning money from a bank to buy the house they always wanted to buy. Then the government tells them to stay in that house, and then they get angry. That's what you loaned money for that beautiful house. Why do you get angry now? You know, that's people are always thinking in a strange way, in my opinion, and they should break free of that thoughts pattern they are stamped in them in the 90s. You know, that's the classical education we had. We were brainwashed to become oil for the machines, and you know, you need to set yourself free.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I fell for that trap myself. I had a bit of a broken upbringing. So when I first started earning money through different hustles and things that I was involved in back in the day, I was obsessed with getting a mortgage. I was literally obsessed with owning my own property, because that to me represented security. It meant as soon as I
Yeah.
buy this house, I can never get kicked out. Nobody can take this away from me. This is my place, you know?
Yeah.
What I didn't realize is the amount of interest that goes along with the mortgage. I didn't even consider that at the time. I didn't have enough financial education to even take that into consideration. But that's what it represented to me, security. And
Yeah.
when you can kind of, like what you touched on there, is beautiful, because when you can kind of detach your idea from, or your perception of what security really is, it gives you so many different options. There's so much more security in being financially independent and not having large outgoings and being able to go anywhere. It's a different type of security. It's a bit more scary at first, but it actually is safer, in my opinion.
It is. It's completely safer. You know, it's a freedom that you have never felt if you just work for a boss, and you know, you run the normal hamster wheel. That's it's completely different. And for some people, they need this base, you know, where they can hang around with people that, you know, they want to show off to, and those people don't even like you most of the times. They just pretend to like you. But you know, that's how we grew up. That's built into the system. That's how our parents grew up. That's how they educated us. But we, my wife and I, we just agreed that if we don't break this circle now, our kids will be having that same boring life again, and their kids again. So there needs to be one person that breaks that circle. And we as parents agreed, okay, we are going to break that circle. Yes, it has some disadvantages. Yes, you will lose the contact with your friends in the Netherlands. Yes, you will not see your family as much as possible, but you will give a future for your kids. And that's what life is about when you're a parent, in my opinion. You know, we need to prepare our kids for the future, not for the past. And if I want to prepare them for the future, I really need to prepare them for the future, not send them to schools that prepare my kids again for the past. And that's how you break the circle. And then you get, you know, the next generation doing the same thing, maybe, or maybe even improving their life.
Yeah, Exactly. So what does the future look like for you? How do you see the world going?
I hope you guys are enjoying this episode of the Platinum Podcast, brought to you by Platinum University, the real life school of mindset, online business, and financial independence. Platinum University teaches you everything conventional education didn't. We're helping thousands of people create multiple passive income streams that create more money, time, and freedom. We literally guide you through every step of the process with the help of our in-house experts and our powerful, like-minded community groups. To get 35% off your monthly subscription and permanently lock in the discounted price of $39.99, and also get access to all of our mindset, forex, dropshipping, stocks, crypto, network marketing, and Airbnb content, visit the link in the description to join.
The future is going to be a completely different. I think people will start to laugh when I talk about it, but people won't understand. We will see a complete decentralized future. For me, Bitcoin, I'm all in Bitcoin. We don't have bank accounts, nothing anymore. We are just in it because we want to support the revolution. We want to bring the power back to the people, not only in money, but also in decentralizing the world, bringing the power back in everything, in governments, everything to the people. So if you combine that aspect with the technology and the evolution of technology, we can see a complete new future. I don't see a future where I want to own a car, or I need to own a house, or I need to own a bike. That is all not necessary in the future. The house, the car, the bike, that will be own entities on the blockchain. A house will be an entity that will be making sure that it collects money from the people that will live there. That will be making sure that it hires a handyman that needs to repair the roof when it breaks. This is all possible because of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and cryptocurrencies. We already have smart refrigerators that order the groceries when the milk is empty. This is going to evolve to cars, to bikes, to houses. So a car will be self-driven all over the world. You will get in it. It drives you from A to B. You pay those kilometers. When the car is broken, it will drive itself to the garage, pay the garage again from its wallet. And, it's going to be completely decentralized. And it's all made possible now because of the tools of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Before, the technology was already there, but we missed the connection financially. How could we trust transactions between two machines? That is exactly where the Bitcoin and the blockchain now come in. That's the missing part, and that part is now going to change the future forever.
Yeah, I totally believe that. And where do you see the role of human beings in amongst all of this? Where, at the moment, because I always feel like this is an interesting discussion. So you get people that are stuck in the past that will always be like, oh, but what about people? These are my jobs. These are the jobs that we have to do. What about us? And I always feel that people that are stuck in that mentality, they're not accepting of where the future is going. For example, if otherwise people would still be working on farms and doing everything by hand. You could argue that people are going to look back then. I'm sure there were people that were arguing they're going to lose their jobs because they have to do it by hand, and now this machine has come in to replace them. That's such an old way of thinking, in my opinion. Where do you see the role of human beings moving forward?
Sorry, 1 second.
No worries, man. You're the Bitcoin family. It makes sense to have your family a part of this.
Yeah,
right?
but then you hear a lot of noise on the back, and it will disturb you, man. And the apartment is big enough. It's a penthouse. They can go to another living room.
Got that Bitcoin money. Go to the other side of the house.
So yeah, what it is. In my opinion, I don't think that I prefer that kind of future, because I prefer a normal future where we have physical contacts, and where you still have a driver where you can talk with and all that stuff. But we can't hold technology, and we can't hold evolution. It took us 13 billion years for us to be talking with each other here through this laptop, through the thing. It all happened. I couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it. All our ancestors couldn't stop it. It evolved. That's how it went from the Big Bang to this moment. We can't even, we can't change the things that are going to happen tomorrow. They will happen, no other way. And, it's you just go with the flow, and you just adapt to what world is giving. And in my opinion, those technologies are evolving so fast now. Yes, of course, as parents, you're always like, yeah, I don't want my kids to be on the telephone, on the laptop 24/7. I don't want them to do this. But on the other hand, it's the future. we are evolving to this world where this is part of our lives. And yeah, for me, it's not even scary anymore. I'm okay with it. For me, it's like, for me, it's already there. Yeah, you want to be on a television? So yeah, I think it's very important for parents to prepare their kids for that future, and they need to understand that jobs won't be the same in the future. We are not making the cars manually anymore. It's already done by robots. The Honda in Japan, it's not the receptionist receiving you in the office anymore. It's done by a robot. This is going to change. That is why you need to prepare your kids for that future where she won't need to be able to memorize a book or to do calculations, because they will use Siri for the calculations. They will use all that stuff. We need to prepare our kids to be those people that can be creative and find creative solutions for those AI, those robots to do. We don't need to do that stupid stuff anymore. We will all be receiving universal basic incomes. They will try to enslave us again by, giving us the universal basic incomes. And that's how they try to catch you again, because then you belong to the system and then you call again into the system. But that is exactly, again, where Bitcoin comes around. That is going to give the power back to the people. That will set you free from that universal basic instant enslaved future. That is not what we want. That is what people want out of greed. But if they start to think that then they have everything digital on their bank accounts and the governments can freeze it every moment when they drive to the red traffic light, or they buy too many alcohol, whatever, then they will understand that we need a safe peer-to-peer cash like Bitcoin. And that is the future we need to prepare the kids for now, Become an entrepreneur. Follow your passions, follow your dreams. Don't memorize books. Sorry, I always thought
everything you're saying. I love everything that you're saying. This is exactly where we stand at Platinum. This is exactly how we feel about it. This is the exact transition that people need to understand. And I think you touched on something beautiful there. It's that, I think, what's the saying? The best type of prison is one that people don't even realize they're in, right? And I was speaking to a guy literally the other day in the spa. So he's done everything by the book. He's an IT guy. He's a network engineer. Always earned really good money. Everything's great. And he's been living in Bali for the last 3 months. Usual story, had a burnout, decided that he wanted to do things differently. And he decided to get involved in crypto. He invested some money into Bitcoin, and then the banks froze all of his assets overnight. Absolutely everything. He's gone from thinking he's totally free, that he can do what he likes because he's got enough money, he's sweet, And then just like that, the man's just taken it away from him, and he was fucked. Luckily, he was able to rely on his sister. In the end, he had to get his sister to sign a power of attorney to go into a bank so he could regain control of his own money and his own assets.
Yeah, but that's the beautiful part. People don't understand it's not their own money anymore. The moment you put your money on the bank, it's their money. You are lending your money to the bank. Exactly. You're a creditor to the banks. And we haven't been using banks already now for 4 years. So we already traveled the world 4 years without bank accounts, only cryptocurrencies and some debit cards that are tied to our cryptocurrencies. We don't need banks anymore. They are useless. They are going to be replaced completely by the new DeFi industry. This is, in the Netherlands, if you have 250,000 euros on your bank account, you pay negative interest. You pay money to save your money at the bank. So in Holland, now minus 0.5% interest to have more than $250,000 on your bank account. So that's negative interest. That's going to be this. It's already the same in Germany. So if I take those same 250,000 US dollar and I bring them into a stable currency backed by the government, let's say USDC, and I stake them in the DeFi industry, I get between 4 and 8% interest in the plus. Why would you still trust bank? They are becoming useless. I don't even need a bank anymore for a mortgage. Mortgages are going to be replaced with decentralized solutions where 50 of your friends will loan you 5 or 6 or 10K. And then you have 500K, 50 times 10, 500K. You buy your house, and on a smart contract, you will be paying interest monthly to all the people that lend you the money. So the small investors become your creditors to buy out. The whole world is going to change. The banks are going to be obsolete. It's like they are finished. If they don't change now, they are finished. And that's why the banks are jumping to the Bitcoin train. That is why the banks are saying now, but we can be a custodial service for your Bitcoins, mister. You can buy Bitcoins at our bank and we will keep them for you. Fuck them. That is not what Bitcoin is about. Because if the banks hold your Bitcoin, you can't send your Bitcoins to me, to you, to anyone. You can always hold them on the bank and exchange them back to fiat. That's not what you want. Bitcoin is about freedom. I have $1 million of Bitcoins on the phone. I can send it every day all over the world to who I want. Nobody can stop me. That is Bitcoin. The banks is just a custodial service that wants to hold your Bitcoins so they can make money on your back because they are going to stake your Bitcoins on a DeFi platform, so they make interest and they let you pay negative interest. That's
The hustle continues.
That's the game they play. That's the game they have been playing, and they have been doing this for a very long time, and they are very smart. People just need to be awake, king, and educated by Platinum University or me or whoever, that is not the game you should be playing. There are many more plays. There are many more ways that lead to Rome, you know? And you need to play that and rock that road that makes you happy and not the one that makes you depressive.
What 100%? That's a good point. What is the argument there? I'm curious. What is the argument of the banks? So the whole point of decentralized finance is that they're not needed. How are they even arguing the case that they could be an intermediary there? I'm really curious about that.
That's the game you can see in the media. In the media, you can read more and more now. Somebody was hacked. Somebody lost all the Bitcoins. You need to protect your Bitcoins. It is the same game they played with gold. You know, we used to have the gold just at our houses in a safe till the people got robbed and the media and the newspapers at that time made stories, bank robbers or robbers will take the gold from your houses. And then suddenly there was a bank and that bank was then, holding your gold for you. And that's what they did. And that's how they became a bank. And people felt safe because of the banks were protecting their gold. And then the bank got robbed and the people didn't feel safe anymore. So they, and now the banks see this Bitcoin as this new gold. So now they are, okay, now we can do the same game. We can just fool the people that we are more safe if they keep the Bitcoins at our place. And people just fall for this shit.
Yeah, it goes on. It fucking goes on. I'm pretty militant about it. I mean, the way I've grown up is I want to be independent. I don't want anybody to have any say over anything that I'm doing. I'm completely against anything that restricts anything that I want to do. And for me, this is truly the last piece. This is really something I want to guide people with when it comes to Platinum. I spoke to you about this briefly. I want people to earn money within the system. First and foremost, you need to get some money. If you're going to buy some Bitcoin, you need some in the conventional system generally. Then once you've got that money, you need to have the right psychology, the right mindset to be able to build it, get more of it, and actually use it to your advantage. And then you need to invest it into something that can't be taken away from you and that becomes truly yours. And that is exactly what I see with Bitcoin and decentralized finance. And I literally want to keep shouting this on every podcast that I do, on every bit of information that goes out. There is an answer here to not being within this fucking prison system. And you articulate that absolutely beautifully with your beautiful understanding of what's going on in your own experiences. I love that.
Yeah, and that's what we spread as a family. We show that it is also possible as a family. I have a wife and 3 kids. I had a normal life. I had a huge house. I had a Jeep Cherokee. I had an Audi Cabriolet. I had a motorbike. My kids had their own quads. We had a holiday. We had everything. But all of that, we exchanged that for this freedom life just with Bitcoin. And we are living in more beautiful places, in more beautiful houses, and driving more beautiful cars. And it is costing me less money. The calculation is easy. What do you choose? Are you going to give up a shitload of money every month for a mediocre life, or are you giving less money for this beautiful life? If it was sunny, it's dark now, I would open the doors. You would just see the beach of Playa del Carmen 50 meters further. I'm living in a penthouse with a rooftop, pool, everything in it, for less than I paid a mortgage for my house. It's people just don't understand that the freedom of moving will give them also the freedom of spending. because you can choose the seasons you visit certain countries. Certain moments, countries are cheaper. It's low season. Then you go there and you live in the beautiful houses for nothing. And then in Bali, the low season is maybe in December and January, February. Then you move there. Yes, you have some days of rain, but if you stay in the UK, you have rain every day.
That I can promise you that. This is how simple the equation is, and this is something I say at Platinum as well. It's like if you, I was spending £1,300 a month, like on where I was living back in the UK, right? So let's say I was spending £2,000 a month just to exist, just to have a really mediocre standard of life. The only thing standing in the way of you being able to take that £2,000 elsewhere in the world is transitioning your income to be working online.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that, now you can earn the same amount of money and you can do it anywhere in the world. And £2,000, like I'm currently in Bali, I don't spend more than £2,000 a month realistically. And that's massages every other day. That's like top quality gyms. That's top quality healthcare. I have IVs, you know, I can have all of the amazing things that you would think would be worth millions. But you can do that in so many places in the world. It's insane to me that people don't understand this life hack.
Not people. I think people understand it, but they still have this disbelief that it is possible. You know, and I think people need to move now slowly from this 90s mindset where they believe that you need to work to make money to this 2000 new age mindset where they need to understand that they need to let the money work. You know, it is stupid to work to earn money. You can let your money work. I have bots trading, like, for example, I have one bot trading. There's like 50,000 US dollar in that bot trading. That bot is making me about $300 to $400 a day. I don't need to work anymore. We have artificial intelligence to do all that stupid stuff. We have bots that do the calculations. I'm not going to spend the whole day behind my computer calculating when to buy and when to sell. If there is a bot doing this way better than me that can analyze the whole past of Bitcoin in a split of a second, I need ages for this. Why would I do that? If there is a solution for it that knows how to do it better than me, and it makes me money every day. You just need a starting capital and you don't need to work anymore. But people just have the fear still, the disbelief. And, you know, I understand this, you know, people in Holland, they took a mortgage in the 90s and then they could take a mortgage, and then a part of their mortgage that was invested by the banks. And then in 20 years time, the banks would make profit. And with that profit, you can pay, pay back then your mortgage. And after 12 years, the bank was calling you, it was a bad year. It was 9/11. We didn't make that money, that profit. So you need to, and that's how the people got afraid. But that they need to understand that we're the stupid bankers. We have now highly efficient, intelligent, artificial intelligence that doesn't care about emotions, that just does exactly what an algorithm expects them to do. Buy and sell, buy and sell. And that's how you make money nowadays. It's easy, but people just need to start understanding it.
I love that. So you've solved the money problem. That's where you're at right now, and you live a beautiful life with the people you love the most. What does life look like for you now? What are you investing your time and energy into that's more important than earning money? Because that doesn't have to be the goal right now.
No, exactly. That's exactly what we always said. You know, the goal should be accumulating happiness. And we as a family found that the happiness for us was in giving. So the moment we understood that we were making a lot of money as the Bitcoin family with our brand, we were still realizing, you know, my Bacardi Coke still tastes the same. I still shit on the same toilet. I still swim in the same sea, and I look still at the same stars and the moon. Nothing changed. It's still the same life. So what do we do with all that money? What do you do with the abundance of what? Give it. Let's give it. So we started to give. So more than 60% we already gave to charity, which made us really happy. And then we found out that giving was not a solution, because by giving, we were giving people fish, and we started to educate people how to fish. So now the last 2 years, we started to, instead of giving, educating people and building. So now, for example, we came in Tulum 1.5 months ago. I was there for a week, and then this Mexico, and then I went to this invasion where the poor people live. And somebody invited me to come and have a look over there. So I spend time in hotels where people pay like $600 for a beefsteak. I don't do it, but that's how expensive it can be in Mexico. And then they told me to the invasion, and I saw poor kids there running around, and they were being educated on floors, without chairs, without tables, without nothing. So I asked those people, I said, why don't you build a school? Yeah, it's too expensive. I said, how much is the school? Yeah, maybe $10,000. I said, let's build it. I will give it to you. So now I'm building a school here in Tulum for poor kids. Already for 3 weeks, the school is evolving. 50 kids are going to school every day now there. It didn't cost me more than 10,000 US dollar. And I'm building a school in Mexico. And by giving and by building this future for the kids, because it's not about the school, it's about giving kids giving them the moment that they can dream. They can start to dream about something else than living in a poor village. And that's what we're building now. And that's what we do every time again. We build. I bought a house in Venezuela for 20 kids that were homeless and didn't have parents anymore. So this week we bought a house there for an organization. They're going to, have the kids there sleeping and living there and all that stuff. So we just share everything I make. I YouTube daily. Every day I get up because I don't sleep much. I sleep 4, 5, 6 hours, 5 hours. I get up in the morning, I read my news, I do a YouTube video every day of my life. I put it out there. All the revenue I make with YouTube, I give to charity. All the affiliate links I make, we give to charity. And we just keep giving. We give. Today I did a YouTube stream with the biggest Bitcoin influencers, Crypto, and all of these guys. We raised 500,000 US dollar. We are going to build another school. We are going to build many more things with that 500,000 US dollar. We just give. I already understood that this money is useful. It's energy, but you need to let energy flow. If you don't let energy flow, it won't come back. So you give and you receive and you give. And since we start to give and give and give, we get more and more back. And my children even now understand this. My daughter today, she was looking at the live YouTube. It was a 3-hour YouTube stream. And at the end, she came out of the pool and she came, is it not finished yet? No. What are you doing? She said, we are still collecting and raising capital for poor people all over the world. And then she said, she's 15, but can I give something as well? I said, of course. What do you want to give? Give $1,000. So as a 15 years old, doesn't give a fuck anymore about money. She made a lot with the Bitcoins the way we gave her. And she even gave 1,000 US dollar now. And that made me almost cry to see my kids doing that. That's why we lead by example. Not only for my family, we lead by example also for the crypto community. We started to give away a lot to charity. Now all influencers that make shitloads of profits start to give their profits also to charity, to people that need it. That is what Bitcoin is about, making the world more equal, redistributing the wealth to all the people, giving access to people all over the world that don't have access to a bank account. Yes, they have these cheap telephones, and that is their bank account. We need to educate them how to use their phone as a bank account, and they can start to transact value all over the world. That is what Bitcoin is about. And that's what we try to do as a family now on a daily basis. Just lead by example. If I go to a hotel, I will tell them, I can only sleep here if I can pay with Bitcoin. They start to laugh. I show them a CNBC article, this is us. Then they start to ask, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe we should. Say, yeah, you should, because I will book for 2 months ahead. I will pay you ahead with Bitcoins. And when I check out, those Bitcoins will probably be doubled in value. And then they do it. And so we just live this crypto life 24/7 while we live this vibe of sharing is caring and try to lead by example for many more people. That's our passion, and that's what we do. Sorry, it was a very long answer on your question.
Do not apologize for that. I think you just did an absolutely amazing job of articulating the ripple effects of spreading positivity, all in that. And that was actually beautiful to listen to, man. I loved it. So please don't apologize for that. I think I want to bring you back to your first point, which was that transition to, you're obviously at a point where you understand how money works. It's a game. You give, it flows. It is exactly that. It is energy. You invest your energy in order to earn it, essentially, and then it is energy that you can distribute to other people. That's how it works. I feel like so many people don't understand that game. They loosely hear these concepts when they hear about the law of attraction and these different things, what advice could you give to people to make that initial transition, to really feel it, to really feel that transition of energy, and feel that the more you give, the better you feel, the more that you receive, and move people away from that scarcity mindset of I need to hodl everything, I need to have everything that's mine, you know? How do you help people transition into that thought process?
So, most people already are there that they saw the law of attraction or The Secret, one of the movies, if they read the book, so that, and then they try it. And all the people that try it, they don't succeed because they want too bad, they want too bad to something to succeed. And that is not how it works. The law of attraction works completely different. You need to want something and then let it go. And then not think about it anymore, focus on the next happy thing, and then it will come. You can't be always focusing on something. It doesn't work like that. It's the same like giving a plant water. If you give a plant water, it doesn't grow like it immediately. It doesn't grow like bam, it's up 2 meters high. It will take a few weeks to give that plant water and it will start growing. That's the same with giving your positive thoughts. It doesn't work if you say hello and how are you to the first person on the street and then stop. You need to continue this, and you will feel that because of being happy, because of sharing happiness, you will receive happiness more and more back. People will start to smile at you. You will start to smile because the people smile at you. And all that stuff is that brings you in this positive vibe. And that's the same thing you can do with money. You can see money as something stressful. I need to make it. I need to make so much money. I need to pay taxes. I need to, oh man, I start to hate money. The moment you start to hate money, it won't come. It won't come. You need to kind of love money in a happy way. It's beautiful. Oh, my daughter wants 2 expensive shoes. Let her enjoy those expensive shoes. But the first thing people think is, oh shit, that's going, there's my salary, there's going. Oh, I can't pay it. I can't afford it. Of course you can afford it. You will always be able to afford it if you just make sure that your mindset is already there. You can spend it already. It will come. And and people have so many examples that it always works. People are always saying the same, then they think, oh man, I thought I was going to crash to zero. And in the end, something happened. It always happens. There is not many times that you hear it didn't happen and people died because of not having money. There will always be a solution. If you take a street, you walk into the street. If it is a dead end, you turn around, or you go to the left, or you go to the right. You can always choose. There is always a choice. And I just believe that if you just do what you feel and follow that voice instead of these 2 voices over there, just follow what you feel. It will always be okay because you're doing what makes you happy. The moment you do something for money that doesn't make you happy, that's when you struggle. That's when you start to struggle because you're doing daily something for money and then you start to hate both. That's not how it works. Start to do something you really like, and if you make money with that, you love both. Yeah, maybe I'm talking too simple about it, but yeah, that's how it works in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are. I think it really is that simple in many ways. There's obviously lots of different books to talk about this. You're talking I hear a lot of talk of non-attachment, essentially, what you're discussing there. You're kind of having a target in mind, but we get very attached to the idea of the how. How is this going to work? And that's what kind of fucks us up, I think, because there's so many different things that happen, at least in my life. There's so many things that have happened that I never would have imagined that would have been the way it should work out, but it's got me to this end destination, albeit in a completely roundabout way. So I've always found that you have to get to a point of non-attachment, especially with the feelings as well, because if you always wish for no pain and no suffering and no adversity, then you're very unlikely to get to that destination. When you kind of you become non-attached and you're just like, well, this is where I want to get to, and I know there's going to be discomfort along the way, then it makes that journey just kind of materialize. At least that was how it was in my journey.
No, it is exactly, it's all the things that you take with you from the past, all the experiences, all the books you read, all the information you take to you that kind of make you. But you need to understand that it is all you that created that fear. It's you that created fear because you read in a book that a tiger will kill you. Did you ever see a tiger kill you? Did you ever see a tiger kill anyone else? Yeah, except of YouTube? Did you ever go near a tiger even, or a spider? People create fears out of things outside of them that other people experience. That's their experience. That's not yours. You need to create your values, your mindset around the things you experience. And then you start to, lose the fear. You need to start to let go. I've been driving in so many cars, and then then the driver is driving, I'm next to him, and then we get into this traffic jam. And then, oh, God, and he starts to scream and yell, and then, oh, come on, drive on. You create that situation like that. You could also say, what a beautiful moment. Let's pick the music. Didi, let's have a chat. We have all the time now. Then it's a complete different situation. You decide how life looks. If you start to focus on butterflies when you're walking in the park, you will see a lot of butterflies. If you start to focus on dog shit, you will see all the dog shit. Why the fuck would you focus on dog shit if you could focus on butterflies in the same park? I really don't understand.
I don't understand either. There was a long time ago I got very focused on the dog shit myself. I think it's when you're in it. This is the kind of thing I often have this conversation with people when they're in their shit and they've not really had this journey yet. This is kind of the thing that I want for people desperately. I want people to be able to see what is right in front of their faces. I want them to want it as much as I want it for them. Because when you've been through it and you've struggled and you've come out the other side and you've had all these realizations like what we're talking about now, it's great because you just know how it works. It's like all of a sudden you get the cheat code and you're like, oh, this is how reality is, realistically. And then, but for people that are still in that struggle, they're struggling with their debts, they're struggling to pay their rent, they can't see beyond the real world problems. That's what those are the people I really want to hear. They're the people that I was like, I need to understand this, because sometimes it's just not enough hearing it from people. Yeah. That's exactly where the kind of idea of Platinum came from. That's why that first piece is, I believe the bigger dream. I believe true freedom is within yourself, how you perceive the world, like you just discussed there. And then the other side of the freedom is something like Bitcoin, where you're free from the powers of the systems that be. That first bit is doing drop shipping, do affiliate marketing, doing some trading, just doing those little things that get you out of your shit. And I wish I could hit people really solidly who are in that moment.
And that's why I came to the next part. I've been doing it for 5 years. I'm doing mindset coaching, presentations all over the world. And every time again, I get the feedback, oh, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. But when the people go home, they fall back in this system again. They get disconnected again from that beautiful vibe you took them into, or that beautiful mindset or dream. Now, I figured out at the end, people just need to have an alternative. I can't read it. I can't give them a book. I can't give them a website or PDF or whatever, and then let them read and believe it. They need to see and feel it. And that is why I started to build communities and villages. So I started to build a community in Bulgaria. It's called Blockchain Valley. I started to build a community in Thailand, in Copenhagen. It's called House of Dao. And I started to build a small city now in Portugal. It's going to be called Blockchain/Village. And in these places, I will build tokenized communities. The land will be tokenized. The houses will be tokenized. Nobody owns shit. It's all from the community. You can spend time there. And then the time that you spend time there, you learn to live in this minimalistic lifestyle without owning a house, still feeling very happy, still feeling very secure, being surrounded with same-minded people that will educate you in how to become a digital nomad, better trader, better mindset coach, whatever you want to be. And I figured out, if I build these villages now, that is where the people can come to, and they can sleep, and they can really taste this environment and really can be educated and really see other families living that way, that alternative life without owning shit. Because else, I still believe that people are not there yet. They can't connect yet to the things that we already do. The step is too big. So they need to step in between. And the step in between are the villages that I am trying to create now. So I'm doing my best because I want to change this world. I want to change this world. It's a mission.
Literally, you've got like a lifelong fan here, because what you're doing is exactly what I believe in. What you just said there is exactly the crux of it. You have to feel it and you have to experience it.
Yeah.
We've all had that experience where we read a book And we get to the end, it's like, oh, fantastic, I took some information from it. You could read that book again 5 years down the line and different parts of it will resonate with you. And the only reason they resonate is because you've experienced something that you can relate to what you've just read.
Exactly.
What you're creating there is like a contained environment where you're essentially, you're building this situation, you're building an experience and giving it to people. And I think that's how you fast track it. That is how you do it.
I think that's how we should do it. And I think if we do that in a fast tempo, and we have like 20 villages like that worldwide that are all tokenized and all co-ownership, and we have a DAO structure where everybody can vote anonymous on the directions we want to go as a community. I think we can convince more and more people to just try it. Try it. Come here for 2-3 weeks. Come here for 3 months. It doesn't cost you shit. You can just pay for the minutes that you live, or you can do some work or contribution to a project. You can do whatever you want, but you can feel that, how this life could be without that huge, that huge ballast on your back of, I must. Nothing must. You're born free. We are all born to be free. We are not born to be locked down. We're not born to walk around with face masks. We're not born to be afraid of a flu because we survived 60,000 flus already. We are human beings. We are the most intelligent people here that we can see on this planet. If I cut my arm, my body will heal it itself. You don't think that the flu will be healed? There are so many things, that people can still learn, I think, and I must stop talking about the flu. It's too much negative energy for
no, we could go on a bit of a tangent on that one. We go back down that fear train again.
No, don't do it.
Yeah. Keep positive.
Yeah.
I love what you said there, because again, what you're designing is exactly what I believe. Because the thing that allowed me to really develop. Oh, are you going in for a little drink? What you got going on there?
I'm pouring a Havana Club.
You're a Mexican. Why the hell not? Yeah, what you're talking about there is creating that space for that experience. So I created that space for that experience by coming to Thailand initially. After my burnout, etc., I realized that I was so fucking unhappy pursuing the things that I thought were important, i.e. status, money, and power, the usual ones that fuck us up. Then hurt my well-being and my health and damaged myself. And then I had to leave. And because then the priority had to be my health and my well-being and my psychology. It's like, if I didn't get my mind back and my body, what's the fucking point of trying to earn any money anyway? It's a waste of time. Once I realigned those values and gave myself space, that's all it was. It was like, okay, I'm going to reprioritize, and now I've got time to do whatever it is that I want and reassess, what am I doing on this planet? Why the hell am I here? What do I actually want to do with my time? And I came to the same conclusion that you did. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to run businesses that actually helped other people rather than doing the shit businesses that I was doing before, which were all about me earning money,
Yeah.
What you're creating there with a community is exactly that. It's people but 10x. Rather than having to go work it out for yourself on a beach in Thailand, you can be around by amazing people that are doing it, living it, and giving you that transmission,
Exactly. And the time that you will spend there, you will also spend doing some yoga, doing some meditation, doing all that stuff that will bring you closer to the person that you are. But people will understand the effect. It's like going to it's the same effect you just described, very beautiful, but the same effect if you need to sport every day, you don't do it. If you go to this gym, you start to sport because you gym or you sport with more people, and then it gets you going. And that's the same with life lessons. If you need to do and figure out everything yourself, it's not as nice as that you can do it together with more people that have the same issues. You then also understand that you're not the only one, and that you're not special, that you are the strange one with issues. Like 90% of the people have issues.
We're all fucked.
Yeah, we're all, at the moment, many are fucked. At the moment, people are, I think it's a beautiful year, even the whole situation that we're experiencing now, I think it's the most positive thing that could have happened. Yes, I feel sorry for people that died, but I also feel sorry for the 15,000 people that die yearly of diarrhea. And I also feel sorry for the people that die of malaria or any other disease. Millions of people die yearly. But on the other hand, this time, they did such extreme measurements that now people understand how important freedom is. When they lock you up for 9 months or for a year in your house, or they close the bar or your business and you go bankrupt because of it, then you start to understand how important it is to maybe start to think about not owning too much, earning online money, being flexible to go where you want, and to be able to choose any direction. We were in Portugal. Portugal closed down the restaurants. We go to Mexico. Mexico, everything is normal. Everything is open. The bars, the clubs, everything is completely normal. And that's the freedom we have. It's not luxury, it's a freedom.
Which is your absolute right, and it's everybody's right. That's the irony of the whole situation.
Exactly. But yeah, people will now hopefully, because of this, understand this. And that maybe, I think that we were all growing so beautiful towards each other in the last decade. Everything was becoming more one, and people were, and now because of this, I can see people again becoming like, fighting with each other on social media, not on social media, and families because of misunderstanding or because of not having the same opinion about something that's happening in life. So I think, yeah, for me, it's all too confusing for people now. So for me, I'm telling all my family, my friends, do the same step. Start with baby steps. Please, you can't work now, you're locked up. Just take this beautiful time to go on a 3-month trip to Mexico and experience that life. It's the perfect timing. The government is paying your salary. If you are in America, they are giving you money every month even. Just use it to do that trip, that 3 months, and experience in baby steps how it would be to live that life for 3 months. And if you don't like it, you go back again to your hamster wheel. And if you do like it, you go back to sell your house and you continue that life. It's the perfect situation now. Kids don't need to go to school. You are locked up, so you can leave. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
That is the best advice. There's been a lot of knowledge bombs here, but that was the best bit. Just fucking do it. Use that fucking money, use that prison money to get the hell out and find out a different way of doing things. I'm actually thinking of heading to Mexico. I'm in Bali right now. I've been here for a little while, and I'm thinking of coming over that way of the world. I want to come and do some. I want to do some ayahuasca. That's the plan. I want to get over there and get expand the consciousness a little bit. It's been a little while. I've been in the same place for too long.
Yeah, we love Bali. We are thinking about going to Bali in the end of the year again. Ayahuasca, I already did 8 times. So yeah, for me, ayahuasca 8 years ago was the first time. Ayahuasca can also be a very helpful tool for a lot of people, I think, that are still doubting on changing life, and they still have too many fears. But yeah, there is a lot of ayahuasca sessions here, and you have the Tez Mezcal over here as well, which is traditional, how do you call this? A traditional stone, like iglo, but then they heat it up with lava stones, and then you have the same effect as ayahuasca, but a little bit less extreme. Mm-hmm. Really beautiful. It's all beautiful natural tools that people were using in history for ages already, and then that helped them, change minds or changed life. I think people should be using it as well. I met a family that is even baby spooning the kids a little bit ayahuasca. They are from Peru. It is from Peru. It's normal there to give your kids some ayahuasca from birth. It opens you up. It opens your mind. It cleans your mind. It gives you a different perspective on life. It gave me many insights, many different perspectives. For me, everything that comes out of nature for me is worth experiencing. If you want to smoke a joint, please do it. It's nature. It's totally. It's even healing, man.
But yeah. Why should anybody tell you any different? That's the question. And all of a sudden, once you take the money out of the equation, nobody can tell you any different. And that's the beauty of it all.
That's the beauty of it all, and that's exactly what people also need to understand. If you want to take that as a jump to cryptocurrency again, the moment we go cashless, and we are going to go cashless, there is no doubt about it. Only 7.8% of the money that is around in the world is still physical cash. Only 7.8%. That will go to zero, like in the next 5 to 10 years. I think 2030, and we won't have any cash anymore in the world. We will have central banks, digital currencies, and then now you need to understand just accept that this is going to happen. Cash is going to disappear. And then just try to figure out how I did it. I asked my daughter. So let's say Jolie is her name. In 5 years' time, there is no physical cash, no banknotes, no coins. And then you want to buy some weed without me, your dad, knowing it. How will you do that? And she was like, that's not possible because you can see my bank account. So not only I, see the government, everybody can see your bank account. Yeah, that's only Bitcoin the solution. Yeah, that's exactly. That is why Bitcoin and all those other cryptocurrencies are being the new cash. If you give me a banknote of 5, nobody can stop it. We can like freely, exchange this value with each other. If this money needs to go through a bank because it's digital, they will always see what you're doing. Are you buying alcohol? Are you buying drugs? Are you paying a prostitute? Whatever you do, what they don't like, they can stop it. They push the button and they freeze your bank account. And people must not think it's not possible because it already happened. We saw Greece, we saw Cyprus. The people had tons of thousands of dollars of their bank account. And during the crisis, it was frozen. They could withdraw 60 euro a week. That is how much control they have, and they want to have more control. So you need to make sure you have this alternative cash, and that is cryptocurrency. You will be able to send cryptocurrency to anyone you want, how much you want, whenever you want, without any control. That is exactly why we need it. If you want to buy weed in Bali in 10 years, you better have cryptocurrency. You can't buy it with a central bank's digital currency because you will be punished. It's illegal.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think I love it. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm totally a fan of everything that you're doing, man. Like the vision is totally aligned, and I love the impact and the influence that you're having everywhere you go. Everything you're doing is actually having a positive impact, and I think it's hugely, hugely powerful. And I think the more people that know about what you and your family are doing, that transmission you're giving people, the better. I'd love for you to tell people where they can find you, where they can find these amazing communities that you're going to be building, because I know for myself, I want to come visit. So you need to let me know when you're in one, and I'm going to come over and visit.
Yeah, of course. If they want to find us, I think the most easy way is if they Google the Bitcoin family. So if you Google the Bitcoin family, then you will find everything about us. Our website is also thebitcoinfamily.com. We have a Telegram group. We have all that stuff. We have a Discord server with more than 3,500 members that daily talk about Bitcoin, blockchain, and life, where we share all the news, all the stuff. And if you want to learn more about trading, we sell trading indicators where people learn, but people are told when to buy and when to sell, so how you make profit. We also have automated trading bots for people that already have some capital and just want to have the capital working for them. But you will find me everywhere, just searching the Bitcoin family, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We have a channel with daily videos, not only TA and charting, but also about family and mindset. We really show how our life is going. So just Google the Bitcoin family and you'll find us on Instagram. My name is Didi Taituttu. My last name is Taihuttu. That's because my father was from the Moluccan Islands in Indonesia and my mother is from Holland. So I'm a 50-50 like that.
Beautiful, man. I love that. And just where are these communities going to be? I know you mentioned it earlier, but where are the communities and when can I head over?
Okay, one community is on Koh Phangan, Thailand, which is, I think, the best island to be for crypto people, but also for free mindset people. Thailand, Koh Phangan, the community is called houseofdao.io. DAO, D-A-O, so houseofdao.io. The community in Bulgaria is near Sofia. We bought a 2 million square land. That's almost the half of Sofia. We bought 20 minutes outside of Sofia to build a smart city plus a community. That one is called blockchainvalley.com. And in Portugal, you can go to the website blockchain-village.com. You can now leave your email because I think that community will be built this year. The concept is really cool. I'm working together with a company from the Netherlands that builds really cool self-sufficient houses, as a cube living, it's called. You will love it. You will love it. And in Thailand, it's already open. There is a community of more than 40 people living together already on in a certain area of the island. And we are now in the process there of buying the first hotel with small houses and everything, and that is going to be the base of the community, and then we're going to build around that more and more. So yeah, we are really building really hard, and one of I prefer the Thailand one. I love it over there. I love Koh Phangan. It's beautiful, it's cheap. If you want to start traveling the first time in your life and you don't have a too big budget, man, go to Koh Phangan. We as a family of 5, if we go out for dinner in the evenings, we pay between $15 and $18 for the 5 of us, and that's a pre-dish, that's main course, that's fresh fruit, that's drinks, everything, and that's only my drink here in Tulum. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
I love that. Thank you so much for your time, man. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It's been great.
cheers.
Enjoy.
Thanks for having me.
See you later, brother.
This is the Platinum Podcast.